Today on Scratching the Surface podcast, we've got Miss Motivator, known as Theresa, but Miss Motivator.
How do you prefer to be?
You know,
In my capacity now as Miss Motivator. Yeah.
So where did you get that name from? What did the name?
It was given to me on the beginning part of my radio training about 30 years ago.
Okay.
Nearly 30 years ago within Shore FM. Because there was about 40 people started the course, and every time I seen somebody ready to jump off, I was having none of it, so I dragged them back on, supported them. As you know what I'm like, we just don't quit. We don't quit. So I got most of the cohorts through it, even the people who were just determined that it wasn't for them because they were embarrassed or whatever. And they just went, "You're so motivational. You're Miss Motivator."
So that's where the names come from. Yeah. Right. Not a street name then.
Nah.
Not your road name.
No, I've not got a road name. Well, not that I've heard anyway.
Yeah.
Talking about that, the motivation and stuff, I was going to ask, you're in radio now, obviously you had us on your show, so thank you for that. Your turn to be on that side.
I know, the hot seat.
Yeah.
So you before that, you've done, you was a life coach and a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
What got you into that? What started you off down it? Well, you just said how you got your name.
Mm-hmm.
So is that what started that journey of giving them inspirational speeches and?
Well, to be quite honest, before life coaching was a thing here in the UK and it was woo-woo, it's like, what's that load of rubbish? Yeah. I actually trained in Houston, Texas, many moons ago. And I got to see Tony Robbins. I don't know if they call him the Giant, Anthony Robbins, and during
Can you just tell us who that is?
He's a guru. He's one of the personal development gurus. But he's like 7 foot tall. He's huge. And he's massive personality in the self-improvement, personal development arena, and he does tours all over the place, and he was on stage with President Trump before he was a president, and I went to see them, and I was really moved, and I was in awe how somebody just talking to somebody could affect so many people without music. You know, because we know you go to rock concerts and everybody's running around, but just by speaking.
Just by speaking.
Yeah, and how it could change your mindset. And I was just like, I want to learn to do that. That's amazing. And I trained over there. But in America, they're quite evangelistic. So they're all like, get up in there. And, you know, they're really loud. And so I came over here and I thought, I'm going to do it over here because no one's doing it. And I did it, and I was nearly sectioned. Not really, but do you know what I mean? They're like, what's wrong with this? You know, something.
They weren't ready.
They weren't ready. So then I thought, right, maybe the delivery is too much. And so I went and trained with the coaching academy, which had just started, and got a diploma, and did it the English way, which is so much more gentle
polite,
and
nice and
talk
polite.
about it, you know. And then I started to get work, and people were like, can you coach me, this, that, and the other. I ran courses at the Gorton Monastery. That went really well at rapid manifestation courses, which is we are all manifestors. We all get exactly what we focus on most of the time, whether we want to or
you're
not.
A believer in that,
Massive, I've seen it too many times, almost daily. I see evidence that that is a fact.
Cool.
How did you get into that with the Radio Diamond? Obviously, you know Dexter and all that, rest in peace.
Before, sorry, I'm not bro, but I just want to say, with being a motivational speaker and life coach and whatnot, did you never get burnt out yourself? And if you did, how did you manage that? How did you manage your own burnout and your own mental state?
So, yes.
Just positivity all the time?
No, it's almost impossible. It's like breathing out all the time. You've got to breathe in at some point. When you know what you know in the manifestation world, and you know the power of your thoughts and effects on your emotions, you catch yourself before you fall. You've got to become mindful and check in with yourself.
If your mental state of mind is you keep having bad thoughts, what have you got to do to try and spin that round? Because people will be thinking, well, I'm manifesting badness for myself, but I can't snap out of thinking bad stuff. So is that just down to the individual to try and turn that around, turn that thought process around?
Techniques, yeah, but it's easy for me to say, well, stop thinking bad things. Because, you know, somebody goes, well, I try. Or you might get a little bit part of your brain where you'll start thinking good, and then you're so used to thinking what you don't want that you stay in that mindset. So what I do is I take you through little exercises, baby steps, because even most of your school experience, well, you don't want to misbehave, you don't want to do this, you don't want to take drugs, you don't want to talk to strangers. They program you to kind of think about what you don't want. And then what the little space that is left for your personal choice, which is a tiny space by the time you finish the system, you kind of have to make a decision. And then you're stuck on the fence. We talked about this the other day, didn't we? Where we talked about Humpty Dumpty, didn't we? And he was sat on the fence, and when he got pushed off, he was all broken because he had to make a decision. But it was either does he jump or should he just be pushed before? And most people wait till they're pushed and they're broken before they make a decision. And you always make a decision out of pain. You know,
which is not going to be always the right decision.
It's not.
You might not be in that circumstance.
It's the worst time to make a decision because you're in defence mode, fight or flight mode. They always say, do not make a decision when you're angry because it's going to be a bad one. You know, but there are certain things that I would take you through. And for you to recognise where the thoughts come from. Are the thoughts in your past, from memories? And are you bringing them to your present, or is it fear of what you think might happen in the future, and you make that real in your head? So if you're stuck there in the past and the present, you've got to bring your mind to right here, right now. How do you do that? You look at the back of your hands, you look at your clothes, you go, all right, I've got a Radio Diamond t-shirt on, no pun intended. You know, or you go, oh, you know, look at the colours on your shoes. It's to bring your mind to the present. And then just say, I'm all right now, I'm fine, I'm okay.
Is this the same as some people like knit the wrist or move the fingers around and concentrate on that? Is it the same kind of
it's
thing?
to feel yourself in the present and recognise that you're no longer in the past in that situation, and you're certainly not in the future. Because if you really could predict your future, everybody would be doing the 6 winning lottery numbers, wouldn't they? Do you know what I mean?
So you sound still very good at it, and you still sound very inspirational. Are you still out there to help people in this kind of way?
Yeah, I do it on my show, my radio show, which I'm going to be doing later on today.
Right, you'll have to tell people when they can tune into that, and where they can find it. Where obviously the Radio Diamond with Miss Motivator.
When are you on? What days are you on again?
Today, I'm on today. Tuesdays, 3 till 5 on Radio Diamond, which you can download the app on Play Store.
Going on to what I was speaking now, that obviously you work at Radio Diamond, we know Dexter was, rest in peace. So how did you manage to get involved in this situation now, like with what's going on at the radio station?
Wow, so I came from Peace FM back in the day before it was Legacy. I'd done many years as a breakfast DJ with Valerie.
What, you did Peace FM?
I did Peace FM for many years. And I did a breakfast show and an afternoon lifestyle show, and things started to change. And sometimes when you're human, we don't like change when we get in our comfort zone, and we're happy with the dynamics. And then certain people came in and things would change, and it didn't resonate with my morals and values and what I believed in. So I took myself away from it. I never tried to put down something because it doesn't suit me. It might be my time to move. You know, and sometimes things have to be uncomfortable for you to move.
True.
And so I ended up going to Radio Diamond. Another DJ I won't mention because we're not speaking. Said, why don't you come over to Radio Diamond? You know, you'd be cool there. So I went over, and I found that it was a great place to broadcast from, but I didn't see the structure in place for it to go further than where it was. And I'm a forward thinker, as you know, and I like to pick people to move the self and not just stay stagnant, because life is short. And I had a word with Dexter, and I said, look, this place needs X, Y, and Z. Why is it not in place? Well, you do it then. That was my initiation to becoming the manager. And then it was like, oop, I've created a monster, because I'm like, right, I want uniforms, I want this, policies, procedures. And we pulled it all together. I was managing it for about 3 years. And we built the Africa project, and my cousin Sandra Scansellberry, she helped a lot with all the paperwork. And
what is the Africa project?
The Africa project, Radio Diamond Africa projects, is for us to help and give back to Africa with our lineage, and raise funds and books and whatever. It's more the villages rather than Accra, because we went to Ghana. The towns and cities, it's the rural places. So my cousin passed away out there, because she works a lot in the rural villages in Africa. And we went there on a twofold to say goodbye to my cousin, and to also donate, to keep her donations coming. So we went out there, and that was a massive culture shock.
With that, like you're saying, how long was she out there for? Was the people
10 years.
So were the people like devastated? Was the people?
10 years.
So were the people upset when she passed away?
Oh, it was like
Did you feel it? Did you feel the love?
You know, sometimes you can have brothers, no disrespect to my family, but sometimes you kind of migrate to an outer relative than the ones that are close to you. You build more. I love all my brothers and sisters, but Sandra was like my soul sister. She's my cousin, you know what I mean? But we were the ones that had get up to naughty things, you know what I mean? And when you know, like smoking in the bedroom and hanging out the window, but appearing to be goody two shoes. But she was just so inspirational. She was one of the first black air hostesses on.
You've mentioned it to me, right?
So like I'm saying, were the people like when she passed away, were the like devastated
in Africa? Oh God, definitely.
When you went there, because you could tell
they had a lot of respect for her. All the villages came out. Tons of children from nowhere. I was gobsmacked the amount of children that came out. We just didn't have enough to give them.
So she wanted to be buried over there and stay over there. That was
and they have a different burial, like when you die in Africa, in this particular village in Central Region, they kind of, it's for us it's very freaky and weird. They don't just lie you in a coffin, they take you out of the coffin and they kind of stood her up with lights on her, and then have a bonfire, and then they play all her music, so she's dancing with the body. Wow. So I was just like, I'm glad I wasn't there, you know, love you, cuz, but I couldn't have done that. Nah, man, I couldn't have dealt with that. That's their customs, you know, where they don't just kind of like, you know, go to the chapel of rest and go, no, you're there. If you're in your house, you're there in your bed, and people come and see you. Almost like you're still part of this world, you know. So,
are you still running the Africa project?
It's still running in the background, but like I said, after I went to Africa, like when I came back, I had to start working. Do you know what I mean? So I went into dermatology and aesthetics and
you're busy.
Name some of your job roles off the top of your head. Go on.
Nobody will employ me after this, I tell you. So, 19 it started. I was a combat medical technician in the army, a CMT. I'd done that for 3 years.
So 3 years in the army.
3 years in the army, which you always said, you said, I look like one of those. Well, just if in case anybody's looking, I've had 2 strokes in a year, hence this motivator. I just get up and crack on.
So good,
Thank you.
But I'm saying that to yourself, like sometimes it's a way of saying you need to just take time out for yourself.
Your body's telling you to rest up a little bit.
No, you see, I look at life differently now, because you're a long time dead. Do you know what I mean? So where there's life, you just keep going. Because if you sit there, if I'm sat doing something that I'm not normally doing, which is resting round the clock, then I'm focusing on why. I'm having to do that.
Yeah. No, I totally understand.
Do you know what I mean? If I just go, right, okay, if I can move, I can talk, I can walk. Don't get me wrong, I'm nowhere near as agile as I was before the stroke.
But you've heard the saying, work yourself into the grave.
Yeah. Okay, it's not like I'm digging mines, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Sleep when you're dead.
Yeah.
Sleep when you're dead.
Sleep when you're dead.
It's like that with my granddad, because my granddad he goes to the allotment and things like that, and my granddad will say to him, why is he going on the ministries? Oh, no, you let the young ones do it, but it keeps him active, do you get what I mean? But I just worry about him, so I always have to go and, like, I walk past and go and check on him if he's in the allotment, or drive past him to see if he's alright, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's just one of them things.
It's true as well, because people say when you do get of a certain age, you start slowing down. That's when you start like losing your faculties and stuff like that. So it's good to keep active in
yeah,
really.
Definitely.
But we want more your backgrounds. Can you tell me your heritage? You're Irish and Irish.
So my mum was born in Dublin, and my dad was born in Barbados.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit of a crazy mix with a mix there.
But like I'm just trying to think that. So obviously.
It's a bit like me. My mum was from Derry and my dad was from Jamaica. And you were brought up in Manchester, my side, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So it would have been similar.
But I mean, even though it was, but we're different. Yeah. But how was it for you growing up, being like mixed heritage, being younger? Did it have its
disadvantages?
Problems.
Oh yeah, you never. And funny,
like
I mean, racism. We had every kind of. It was a weird kind of racism, because we would still get called niggers from the white kids who were racist, or white grown-ups have been called niggers from that. But then the black people would call us, you don't know what, you mongrel, you get called also. So there was no way until I remember my brother going, they don't like us and they don't like us, so you almost have to form your own village.
But check this out, do you not think, right, as mixed race people, we're going a bit off route here, but we've mentioned it, so, like, we've now just formed our own village, but back then you either chose, you're gonna just, you class yourself as black or white.
Yeah.
She was either a black living mixed race person or a white living mixed race person. That's how I found it. And me and people around there identified as black people.
I just found it as like, I just thought like, would that win in itself, but like as a black person looking, I thought like, to me, like someone that grew up in it's like you grew up around there. Do you know what I mean? Like you got our like you've got black culture, black culture. But if you grow up in like a sofa, there you've got like it's a different kind of.
We know mixed race people have grown up in sofa and they weren't quite like us.
Not the same. It's different cultural things.
It was a safety thing, I think, as well. Of course it was, yeah. Because when you were,
what do you mean?
Because if you. Like, I went to, like, the schools in Moss Side and Bishop Hillsborough and whatnot, and that was, like, multicultural. You had mixed race, black, white, and I tended to migrate to the black girls, but then I had to, as a female, I had to learn to be black because I was raised around mostly white people.
Right, okay.
And I had to learn almost... from scratch. I was, as far as I was concerned, I was black.
Yeah.
And remember, we called half caste back then.
Half breeds, half
caste. Yeah, half caste and half breeds and whatever, right? And then they changed our name. You can't say that.
So many times.
You can't say that. You mixed parentage. You can't say. You're like, what do I identify as now?
I tell you what, it's been half caste. There was something before that. I've taught this. There was a word from Africa, what they used to call mixed race people, but now it's Africa. Then it was mixed race.
For the safest, pro, like all kinds of things.
It's been mixed race. Then it's flipping multicultural.
There you go.
Mixed ethnicity.
But the difference in the cultures,
we just got
for the
two
women,
cultures in our life. One, our mum's one, our dad's another. It's mixed race.
But then, were your parents together?
No.
So
my mum left when I was 3, so...
Did you get the conflict? Because I used to get the conflict. I used to go to my dad's and my dad would go, if I was cooking, he'd go, wash the meat properly. You wash like a white woman.
Yeah,
They're nasty and they're dirty.
And girlfriend, so I did see some of that.
I'd go to my mum's and my mum like, clean that out. You're not in the black house now, they're dirty and they smell. So you were like, yo, do you know what I mean?
Did you have this, Theresa? Did you have where you could go to a white function and they get down like a white function gets down, then 2 weeks later you're at a black family function and they're getting down and it's just
Nah.
Did you not have
No,
that? Right?
no.
I seen the Irish side and the Jamaican side.
I felt very uncomfortable in the white.
Did you?
In the white.
Okay.
I'd walk in and go, I'm the only black hair, I'm the only black hair, I'm the only black hair. You know, and like, don't talk to me because you're only talking to me. And I'd have an attitude.
Right, okay.
You know, and then...
Was
but
that
then,
coping mechanisms though?
Yeah, but then when I
Defense
went to black
mechanisms.
gigs, I'm going, yeah, it's not for me, this. Do you know what I mean? It was weird. So you are kind of floating and stuck with all the negative, you know, we are this and we are that.
Yeah.
Clearly, I'm not there now because I was young growing up. Even down to shiny skin, grease in your skin. It's a different language and terminology. Because I remember saying to my black friend at school, I was like, how'd you get your skin like shiny like that?
How comes your elbows are so white? I ask you now, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah. Well, she said to me, cocoa butter. My mum never used. Look, it don't even start.
I don't put cream on my. I don't know.
You need cream, man.
Man, it's sticky and all that, man.
Nah, you're using bad cream, man.
Don't show the. Like, man, I could just come out of the bush.
But no, I feel like I think black people have to look after skin, but you have to cream.
Yeah, you do have to
cream and look after your skin.
Yeah,
But back to that, you know, like I said, grooming and things like that as a female. She said to me she used cocoa butter. My mum didn't use it because she was a white lady. So I just hid butter. And took butter, which was Blue Band back in the day, he was talking about, and greasing. So you can imagine what I smelled like. Got bullied to death. Do you know what I mean? But I was thinking, well, it's grease, you know, and I'm shining now. So even down to washing, they wash differently.
But my brother, even like my brother's like, because he had foster care, and he was like, yeah, man, like. But like, I don't know, I just see the funny side of things, innit? Yeah, but like he went to somewhere, he got foster parents, but he was saying that the woman wasn't good, but like the guy was alright, yeah, but then sometimes if you watch your football, you'd be like, you fat bastard, but he was alright though, do you get what I mean? So these little things that happen, do you get what I mean?
It's mad, innit? And the things you had to...
And like when he was waiting, like the people, like the kids used to take the mick out of him and just things like that, man, it's because he lived in a white area, man, but yeah, man, it's just crazy. Moving on, how do you... how do you divide your time or divide your time with all the grandkids that you've got and like you all like wanting your attention and like just as a cause I see you as a strong black woman. I see you as I'm sure you're the foundation or the
so
you know what I mean? So
like what impact would you like to have on the community and stuff like that?
No. So you're talking about the personal family vibes.
You're just going from one.
Right.
You're going
you say it.
I feel like there's ant and deck going on here now. You're making me laugh.
Just like he's on. I don't know what.
No, I must have floated away, and I thought that's what you was on about. But go on, ignore me. Go.
So you're asking how do we divide my time?
With the kids and your grandkids, because you've got how many kids have you got? 13?
I've got 13 kids. No, I've
30 grandkids have you?
So I'll have number 13's on the way. It's not that bad. I've got 6 children, but 13. Well, number 13's on the way now. So, to be quite honest, I don't babysit them all. I refuse. I said I have no life. You know, I have boundaries, and I say to them, don't take the mick. And this is, as I was telling you, we build boundaries around our property. Like we'll put a gate on and we'll put ring doorbells on and we'll put car alarms on, but we're accessible. We don't build boundaries around ourselves, and it's very important that you do, because trust me, if you don't, you'll be getting phone calls at 4 in the morning, 12 at night. Yeah, can you talk? No, I can't. So I'm a little bit like a Medea grandma. You've seen Medea? So everybody, the kids, my children call me, do you want to phone your nana? You know, and I give them the talk. It never ever raise my hand to him ever, but I'll give them a look, and it'll put the fear of God in them. See if they start misbehaving. Christmas parties, I'm always there.
How was it for that Christmas and festive times? How was it for you?
It's like a madhouse. It's
Sorry to put you in there, because I was thinking like the other day in it, and it's like I was a mad thing in it, because I listen to a lot of gangster music and things like that, and like I was just thinking like, you know what I mean, because I've not had a little kid for time, but I was around like someone's house and the kids, and like just like I was just like, you know, that feeling of just like the music of like kids cartoons and just like the kids playing in the background, and it's just like it's a whole lot of obviously you're around your kids, so you've got it was an enlightening thing. It made me feel good inside. You get what I mean? And I thought, you know what, it's just nice, like the energy that I got off it, like the music, it just put me in a whole different. And I thought, you know what, I want to stop. Even if I got to watch a cartoon, it's going to put me in a different kind of mindset. And
from listening to like just
gangster music, it's like watching violent films and all that stuff. I stopped watching like horror films as well. Do you get what I mean? Because the energy and things.
You know, like I remember someone went through a stage of watching like crime things, just night after night, true crime, and they started getting depressed. And I said, stop watching true crime murders every night. So they did, and they said they felt better. So what you take in is you're digesting it, aren't you? What you take in, you got to sort of digest into your body and your brain, I suppose. Yeah,
one thing I wanted to say is, like, you know, like we were talking about, like, you know, like older women going for like medicals and things like that, and we'll talk about things. So, like, do you think like the time that the world that we're living in now, like, do you think there is such a thing as confidentiality when there's so much people know each other and the social media?
I've worked in the NHS. Many times in the private sector and in the NHS, and yes, there are times when there is confidentiality, but I would honestly say that it depends on the individual. You can sign all the contracts you like because I've seen it.
It's still going to be fast.
They're still going to go, don't say anything. But
I'm
blah,
not saying
blah,
nothing.
blah.
I'm not a snitch on nothing, but I think one of them was, you get me?
I don't believe that, because it's human nature. If you see somebody famous, let's say, it happens to me when I was working in a particular hospital, I won't say, but a famous person came in and I was going, oh my God, because we're human. And you grill, do not do this, do not do that. I used to work for Etihad, the airline, and they go, you don't approach anybody, because we were on the executive lounge, so we got all the footballers in, and I don't watch football, so I seen all the young girls going, oh my God, such and such, and I'm like, you know, I don't watch football, so I don't know who they are. But then one of the, I think it's Man United managers, name him.
Fergie.
No, want him.
Moyes,
Solskjaer,
Mourinho, Ten Hag. Years ago, he's talking.
Not too many years ago.
Well, it would have been Fergie.
How long ago? Fergie, Moyes.
I can't even remember. Do you know what? I can't remember his name anyway. He was there.
Dutch guy.
No, that doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Right, okay.
It was English. He wasn't foreign. Could have been Fergie, I don't know. But he came in, and I remember my son saying, get me an autograph if he ever comes in. So I nearly got the sack. I was like, excuse me, can I not?
Just for that,
you know, when they were going absolutely nuts, you know, like...
At you for doing that?
Yeah, I nearly got the sack.
Did he do it though?
Yeah, I gave it.
How did he get onto it though? Because someone else told him or something, or what?
Well, when you get high-profile people in, they watch the staff like a hawk. And I was the only black there anyway, so it was easy to find.
Right, you'd have to be you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have been me.
What impact do you want your radio station to have on your listeners and on your community? Just to provide a service of enjoyment, or do you want to put a message out?
What I want everybody to think of when they look up Radio Diamond or tune into Radio Diamond is that we're not just a radio station. And when I say we're a community station, it's not because we're down on Company's House as a community station. We've made it a community station. And a community station should never be called a community station if they're not doing community work and helping communities.
Very true.
As you know, I totally believe that whatever knowledge you have, you don't take it to the grave. It's a disgrace to take it to the grave.
Yeah.
You help people, you pass it on. If you've not got the money, give them your knowledge.
I've seen, when we've been working with you lately, when you've been helping us out a lot, I've seen people come to your door and you've gone outside and give them advice and help and stuff like that. Just sat in your office, just going outside and helping local people. So you are proper foots on the ground.
Yeah.
We can see that, yeah?
Yeah.
And I wanted to say, have you got any future goals for the radio station? Like, where do you want to be in 5 years?
We're trying to get DAB. We're trying to raise £10,000 at the moment.
Okay. That's good for any listeners to know.
We're trying to. You can donate if you want to, and help us, because we really do help the community. We don't charge.
How could you donate? Or
if you go to www.radio-diamond.com, there's a donation button at the top. You can just click on donate. You can subscribe and pay monthly or whatever. So once we get DAB, our shows can go out to in cars, and although we're on apps, people don't want to burn out all their battery listening to the thing. Do you know what I mean?
Free airtime, whatever you call it.
So we've also got Alexa. We're on the internet. We're on loads of platforms, Radio Garden, and we've got our own apps as well. But I think DAB's our goal, so we can really get out there and do some good community work.
How do you feel about when you stand outside the Claremont, what do you see?
Radio Diamond on Claremont Road. It's on a pub.
When you stood on
the monkey, just chilling with the man there.
Or Rum Lane.
On your spare time.
When you look at, I know, there's good and bad. There's lots of things that are said about the community, but when you look out there, what do you see?
I see.
Good or bad or whatever.
I see, and this is the gospel truth, and I've talked about this before. I see characters that if I could get somebody who writes radio plays, or I want to write a soap about Claremont Road. The characters are amazing. You just couldn't dream them up. They are their life. It's entertainment every day. You see. And then it's also sad as well. You see the sad side, because you'll see a lot of people who are falling to drug use, and then you'll see police flying all over the place. You'll see people not living to their potential. When I see people hanging around and shop, do you want to buy some coffee or bacon? I'm like, what? You know what I mean? Unstoppables. I'm like, oh my God. So, you get all this coming, but I kind of try to look past that and go, what's going on with you? Do you know what I mean? What's going on with you? And I see little business people, the little hustles that they go, and I'm thinking, if you just give them a different product, applied it there, they'd have their own business and they'd be running it well, because they're on time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we've just finished off a question you asked us, so we're going to spin it back round on you.
What was that?
If you could sit down and have dinner with one person and a chat, who would it be?
Michael Jackson.
Because
I met him. Michael Jackson, because I actually met him.
Did you meet him? Okay.
Yeah, well.
Did you talk to him?
You brushed past him.
Well, no, not really, no. I was stood at the bottom of the stairs when he came down the stairs, and the whole stairs was jumping. It was like, those scaffolding stairs at the backstage, he came down, and it was the bad concert where he had the red and all the buckles and all that lot. And he come down, and I got like that close to him, and I was just like, oh my God. And I went hi, and he looked up and he laughed, and he looked me straight in the eye, and I've never seen such emptiness and sadness. Loads of makeup on his face. But I felt his spirit, and I just thought,
Do you know what? It seems like towards the end of his career, he was trying to tell people a few little things.
I would have loved to sit down and say to them, right, what's really going on? Yeah.
On a closing question, what if you could go back to go back in time and give yourself advice? What would it be?
Wow. In what area?
Any capacity.
Any area.
Yeah.
Just that I will survive. I'll get through it.
Yeah.
You know, don't think.
Don't let no one tell you that you can't do this.
Yeah,
Do that.
you know, go for it. Don't be scared. Feel the fear. Do it anyway.
Yeah.
It won't kill you.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of things that I've not done because I'm like, oh, what if and what if and what if. And you know, I've learned that I can what if down all day long. You know, what if that happens? What if bailiffs turn up? What if this? Well, what if hasn't happened? So why not? What if it turns out great?
Yeah.
What if I do make £1 million? You know what I mean? I can what if up as much as I can what if down, and I would definitely say to just keep going. You will survive. You will get over whatever comes your way. You're a strong woman, and pat myself on the back.
Cool. And there's one more thing. There was is there a competition? Is it? That you're running at the minute for any rappers or singers?
Yeah.
So we've got to get involved in this.
Yeah. So we've in honour of Dexter, because he built the station for the community to use to showcase their talents. Yeah. And so we've taken that one step further now and created the Dex Factor, no pun intended. And it's going to be a talent competition where the winner will get 3 8-hour sessions in the brand new Radio Diamond studio, so they can record their own music. The niche for us is we can take their music and air it. We're going to put it on a 3-month loop, so that song really gets out there.
That's good.
Plus
exposure there.
Yeah, they'll get on to be interviewed with our breakfast team, our afternoon team, and our evening team. Cool. So they'll really get a lot of exposure.
If we can be of any use, we're looking for.
Excellent. So we're looking for rappers, spoken word.
Don't know about rapping and all that. Not like that. Like I'll help you. Like.
Well, you never know. Can you sing?
No.
Well, you got to be over. You got to be under 25 to enter. This is for young people. I don't know. He looks it today, doesn't he?
My Captain Blackbeard today, innit? Look at you laughing.
Yo, I need to say
he looks today.
Don't cut this out, you know. Don't cut it out. Try to do it, but dust the elbows.
Yo, Lance, what it was, I tried to dye it myself last night. It turned blue. Everything turned blue. So I had to whip the whole hair off,
I said to him, bro, don't do it.
This said black. And then I had to go out and buy more beard dye, put that on, and it just turned my beard super black, yo. So what can I do? What can I do, man? You get me? So there you go.
But yeah, on that, what can we say, like, I see you as a strong black woman, and you know you've helped us a lot. You helped us, and you continue to help us.
Yeah.
But like, what would you give to like our black sister, any young black woman, or not even black
women,
any
working
women,
class women,
any woman, not even women, just any woman that's just
mixed race women, anything,
no,
anything,
bro, not any colour, bro.
What matters to
women
you?
in general.
Women in general.
Yeah, women in general. That's the word, isn't it? Yeah.
What would I say to them?
Empowering them and that. Do you get what I mean?
So it's know who you are. It almost sounds like a pun way, know thyself. Know, if you have, especially mothers, women who have given birth and who've created a whole human being inside and carried it around through adversity, because a lot of them are on their own. A lot of them are in dysfunctional relationships. There are a lot who are in great relationships, but I can only relate to what I read through myself. So I'd say you find that you have got that strength, especially when you think you haven't. You have. We come from nothing. Remember, if you think about men and women, this is for everybody. We came from an egg and a sperm that you had to look in a microscope to find, and we were miracles that we're here. You know what I mean? That we are so more capable than what we're doing. We're not even doing a crumb of what we're capable of. Get behind yourself and stop. Be careful what I said to you yesterday. Be careful who you listen to. Don't listen to women. That's one thing, when I was going through breakups and heartbreak and all, because that's horrible to go through. And I'd go to my mates and my mates would go, effing, you know what I mean? Let's get your clothes on, man. Look at you, you're hot. Let's go out, get another one. You know what I mean? That's the worst thing. That's the worst thing you can do. You've got to heal. You've got to heal. Protect yourself. Put your boundaries in place. Really put your boundaries in place. See yourself as your house. Protect it.
Protect yourself,
you know,
like your house.
And not to the point where you won't come out of your house. You know, that you lock yourself down, so you're not going to... Just be cautious who you let in your house. Simple. And no, you will survive. You are built to survive. You've got no choice. Hold your breath and try to die. It can't happen.
What's that word? We're very... resilient, very resilient, aren't we?
Well, you've got no choice but to survive.
The best of us comes out sometimes at the worst possible times, like we said.
With me, like even like with all this doing, like when I started doing all this, innit, like my comfort zone, innit, like it just taking me out of my comfort zone and having me to do things just get kind of, it was good, it was what was needed. You get what I mean? When it's a birth, it's a new birth. No one's more comfortable than a baby in a womb. You know, they don't have to do nothing, they just float around all day, don't they? Do you know what I mean? But that birth, it's shocking, it's there's pressure, there's pain, it's messy. And then they come out and bam, they've got a whole new life in front of them. And that's what you usually have to go through when you're going, they say if you don't pay attention, you pay with pain. Yeah? Pay attention to what's going on, but who you give your attention to is very important. Be selective. Look for where you're going, not from where you've been. Because a lot of our people, when we've like come from the streets, we're always looking back. Yeah, but it's my boy. Yeah, but it's... Well, sometimes that chapter's done. That's what catches you.
You've got to move past it.
That's what I think. A lot. Some of them. That's why. Like sometimes when it's like you were saying before, like back in the days, we were like, our phones like had to be on, like, yo man, you didn't answer the phone for the man them, and if the man them, in case you got a phone on one of the man them, because we've had a thing where one of the man them have probably been shot at night time, and man need to go and get him, or you just heard it over the grapevine, and that phone, and then you just got a phone call all the time, you can't tell you right, I wanted one of the man them needed you last night, you didn't have your phone on or something.
Yeah, I think that's how we got into the discussion.
They're just like thinking like this thing where the man is that when we say the man them, it kind of get you. You're not going to go not for the not going to do it for the man them. That's that word when you're not going to do it for the man them. It's like it holds you, man.
Yeah, but that was then. It served its purpose. You know, we're here now.
It changes though. It changes from you there. If someone's going to get, if someone's stuck in a club or they've just been shot or whatever, that changes to someone needs to talk, they're having a bit of a bad time, and you still feel like you have that loyalty to your boys to always be there for them in a different way.
Here's your boundaries then. You meet up once every 3 months. That's it. Look guys, you meet up once every 3 months, you spill your guts.
You say that, but you're going to like, it's like, we're not dealing with like, you know what I mean, like, yeah man, he goes to this job and we'll meet up.
But you're not there anymore.
I know we're not, but there's a lot of our friends that still are there, and it's like, well, what do we do in it? Our friends, we're not in bad places as much as some of our friends, but like what do we I said to my friend, I said,
how to do boundaries.
There you go.
I said to my friend, but what is, if my friend's going through a little bit, going through mental health problems, what is an hour of my time to give him?
That's true.
But then it becomes more,
there you go.
and more. And it's like, yo, I've got my own life. You're not asking me how my kids are, how's this going, how's your grandparents. It's just your problems, straight away, bam.
So look how your demeanour's changed. We were laughing a minute ago.
Now even,
you know, and if it makes you feel like that way, you feel almost put on. Do you know what I mean? Then you've got to put boundaries in place. You're not here forever.
Yeah, man. But
no, this
go on, what you going to say?
Been a top talk, man.
Yeah,
good, man.
But Miss Motivator, thank you for everything you do and everything you continue to do.
You're welcome.
And please support Radio Diamond and Miss Motivator and all the staff over there, because they are doing a lot for the community.
And you do a lot. You do help with, you know, if people need help with like filling forms out and things like that. I don't want to put too much work on you.
No, they're all going to come piling in now. I want script writers, I want videographers.
We're going to get you some tickets, man. We're going to get you some tickets to go abroad, man, somehow. We're
going to get that would be nice.
Yeah, man. But don't hold me to it, but we're
going to get it. Put it on film.
But yeah, man, nice one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.